Hello everyone, welcome to our next session on importance of operators. In today's session, we would like to discuss about assignment operators. In today's session, we are going to start with assignment operators. After that, we can conclude these operators with other remaining operators like question mark operator and size of operator and some more other operators. Okay, so today we will start with this assignment operator. What is the purpose of an assignment operator? Okay, so assignment operator indicates with equals to symbol. Assignment operator indicates with an equals to symbol. Unlike other operators, it has its own importance, because if you want to perform any arithmetic operation or if you want to perform any bitwise operation, you completed that operator. Like if you consider an arithmetic operator addition, if you choose an arithmetic operator addition. So to complete this arithmetic operator, what we required? You required just two operands like A plus B. A plus B. A is operand 1 and B is operand 2. So if you have two operands A and B, you can complete your task. You can complete your arithmetic addition. But are you holding this result in anywhere else? Are you holding this result in anywhere else? No, we are not holding this result in anywhere else. So just performing an operation is enough in our programming language? No, it is not enough to perform an operation. After completion of your operation, you have to hold this result in some other variable or in some other identifier. Okay, so how can you hold your variable? With the help of assignment operator. With the help of assignment operator only, you can hold your right value. This you called as R value. You can hold your right value into this L value. Into this L value. With the help of this assignment operator. This assignment operator. What is an assignment operator? Values to a variable can be assigned using assignment operator. See, this is the variable. This, after producing this expression, C equals to A plus B. Okay, after evaluating this expression, you can get one value. So that value will be assigned into this particular variable. That is the definition it is demonstrating. Value to a variable can be assigned using this assignment operator. Okay, so assignment operator requires how many operands? Assignment operator requires minimum 2 operands, like C equals to 10. C equals to 10. So how many operators? Operands here we are using, and how many operators here we are using? This is one operator. One operator. And how many operands we are using? Operand 1, OP1, and this is OP2. So an assignment operator requires minimum 2 operands. Minimum 2 operands, which are called L value and R value, which are called L value and R value. See here, this C is L value. C is L value, and this 10 is nothing but R value. 10 is nothing but R value. 10 is nothing but R value. So to perform this assignment operator, we require minimum 2 operands, which is nothing but L value as well as an R value. Okay, so next, R value. This operator copies the R value into L value. Here what we are doing? We are copying R value into this L value. We are copying this R value into this L value. So the same example here also we have given. Where is nothing but L value, and this equals to is nothing but assignment operator, and this 5 is nothing but R value. So this example, what it is demonstrating us, this 5 is copying into var. This 5 is copying into var, right? So that means R value is copying into L value with the help of this assignment operator. R value is copying into the L value with the help of this assignment operator, right? And we have some more operators. Those are called as shorthand assignment operators. Shorthand assignment operators. We have so many shorthand assignment operators. Let us discuss few shorthand assignment operators in this session. Okay. So what is this? What it indicates? Plus equals to. It is nothing but add and assign. Add and assign. Plus is an arithmetic operator, right? What is the purpose of plus? It is an addition. Okay. Add and then assign. Add and assign. So an example for this. A plus equals to 1. A plus equals to 1. For example, we declared a variable int A equals to 10. A equals to 10. And now you consider that expression. Okay. What is that expression? A plus equals to 1. A plus equals to 1. It is nothing but, or it tells us A equals to A plus 1. A equals to A plus 1. This is equivalent to A equals to A plus 1. So what is the value of A here we declared? What is the value here we declared? It is 10. So 10 plus 1. A is equals to 10 plus 1. 10 plus 1 equals to 11. Now 11 is our R value. 11 is our R value. That R value we are copying into our L value. Here A is our L value. A is our L value. Okay, that 11 is copying into A. Here 11 is R value and A is L value. Okay, next go to the next one. What is the next operator? Subtract and assign. Subtract and assign. Okay. Subtract and assign. A minus equals to 1. A minus equals to 1. It is equivalent to A equals to A minus 1. It is equals to A equals to A minus 1. Again same example. Consider int A equals to 10. Right? A equals to 10. What is our expression? A minus equals to 1. A minus equals to 1. That is nothing but A equals to A minus 1. This will be considered by the compiler internally. This expression is equivalent to this expression. A minus 1 is equivalent to A equals to A minus 1. A equals to A minus 1 is equivalent to A minus equals to 1. So what happens internally? What compiler will do? A equals to 10 minus 1. It is equals to 9. This 9 will be assigned into A. 9 will be assigned into A. Right? Similarly, division and assign. Division and assign. A by equals to 2. A division symbol equals to 2. This is equivalent to A equals to A by 2. A equals to A by 2. Right? And next one is modulus operation. Perform mod operation and assign. Perform mod operation and assign. Nothing but A mod equals to 2. A mod equals to 2. And it is equivalent to A equals to A mod 2. The example is A mod 2. A mod equals to 2. Initially we have assigned A as 10, right? So this is nothing but 10 mod equals to 2. That is nothing but A is having 5. A is having now 5. Sorry, mod means it is remainder. Mod means it is remainder. So A is now having 0. A is now having 0. And next one is perform left shift. Perform left shift and assign. Perform left shift and assign. See here, A left shift equals to 1. This is simply equals to A equals to A left shift 1. A equals to A left shift 1. And the next last one is right shift and assign. Right shift and assign. This is equivalent to A right shift equals to 2. It is equivalent to A equals to A right shift of 2. That means A is a value. First that you have to convert into A bits and perform 2 bits right shift and perform 2 positions towards the right shift. Okay. So these are shift operations. Okay. These are about shorthand assignment operators. Okay. And let us discuss what are the remaining operators available in C programming. Okay, we have conditional operator. It is very useful operator in C programming. What is a conditional operator? Conditional operator indicates by the symbol of question mark followed by colon. Question mark followed by colon. A conditional operator indicates with the help of question mark followed by colon. What is the purpose of a conditional operator? And conditional operator requires how many operands? Conditional operator requires how many operands? It requires 3 operands. It requires 3 operands. Conditional operator requires 3 operands. That's why we call it as a ternary operator. A conditional operator is also called as a ternary operator because ternary means 3. That's why we call it as ternary operator because it requires 3 operands. It requires 3 operands. So therefore it requires 3 operands. Let us see a syntax for this conditional operator. Expression 1 is nothing but operand 1. Expression 2 is nothing but operand 2. Expression 3 is nothing but operand 3, right? Okay, we have 3 operands, OP1, OP2 and OP3. What we are doing with these 3 things? What is the use of this conditional operator? Or what is the use of this question mark operator followed by this colon? What it will helps us? In which situation it will helps us? See, in this expression 1 position, we will give our condition. We will give our condition. Not only in expression 1 position, if required you may give your condition in expression 2 or you may give your condition in expression 3 also, okay. It is completely depending our programmer's choice, okay. So if the condition is true, if the given condition is true, then you can go to expression 2. If the given condition is not true, that means if it is false, then you can go to expression 3. Let us discuss in detail with an example, okay. Why do we need this conditional operator? Let us discuss in detail. Here I declared 2 variables, character, result and integer marks. This program demonstrates us just I entered some marks. Based upon the marks, I need to find out whether the person is pass or fail, okay. So here the condition I am considering is marks greater than 18? Is your marks greater than 18 or not? If your marks is greater than 18 out of 30, if your marks are greater than 18, then you are assigning result equals to P. Result equals to P. P indicates that pass, else result equals to fail, and finally you are displaying your result. Okay. If I enter my marks equals to 17, what is the output I will get? Simply fail. How can I get? I need to traverse, I need to compile this instruction, I need to compile next instruction, next this one. If the condition is true, I will enter into this location. If the condition is not true, I can go to this else part, and this else part what I am doing, result equals to F. After assigning the value for result, I am going into the printf statement. So I need to traverse instruction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to traverse all these instructions because the condition is failed. I am not traversing this instruction. Okay. So except this instruction, I am traversing all these instructions. I am traversing all those instructions to get the result, whether I am passed or fail. Okay. So the same program we will rewrite with a conditional operator. Okay. Char result int marks. I need to declare these two variables. Even you have conditional operator or not, you have to declare two variables, right? Char result and char marks. Next, what I am doing here is, instead of if condition, I am just taking a question mark operator or a conditional operator or a ternary operator, right? So this is expression 1. Marks greater than 18 is expression 1, and this is expression 2, and this is expression 3, right? If marks is greater than 18, if it is true, then I can go to pass. If it is true, then I can go to pass. If it is false, I can go to expression 3. I can go to expression 3. So, let us assume my marks equals to 20. My mark equals to 20. So, is your mark greater than 18 or not? Yes, 20 is greater than 18. It is true. So, in which location we have to move? Expression 2 or expression 3? To where we have to move? From expression 1 to expression 2 or expression 3? Yes, we have to move from expression 1 to expression 2 because our condition is true. So now what is the value I am having here? It is P. That P is assigned to result. That P is assigned to result. That P is assigned to result. Now result is having P, and just you can simply print your result. You simply print your result. Observe these two programs. Here how many instructions we are traversing, or how many instructions you have to execute? Instruction 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here you have total 4 number of instructions. Here how many instructions you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Total you have 7 instructions here. This is the advantage with conditional operator we have. Okay, you can reduce the number of instructions in your program with the help of conditional operator, right? We will see in detail. Okay, with some values. Marks equals to true. If the condition is equals to true, you can go to P. Okay, that means the result is P. Okay, if marks is not greater than 18, that means if the condition is false, then you are going to expression 3, then the result is false. Then the result is false. So this is the way you can evaluate your expression. This expression is called as a conditional expression. This expression is called as a conditional expression, right? And the next operator we have is ampersand operator. Ampersand operator has an important role in C programming. Okay. So as of now we discussed so many operators with so many examples. Okay. We are reading values or we are performing some operations and we are holding the result in some other variables. If you want to hold any value into any variable, or if you want to hold an expression result into a particular value or variable, you require an identifier. Identifier, nothing but a variable. Nothing but a variable, right? So, to hold the value we require a variable. Where is that variable? Where is that variable? If you are working with an electronic device means everything we have to store in our memory. If you are working with your electronic device means you have to hold your information in the memory. So if you want to hold your information in the memory means, does it require an address or not? Yes, it requires an address. Okay, like you created an integer variable a, you created a character variable result, integer variable marks. For all these variables we have an address. With the help of that address only you can store the value or you can get the value from the memory location. Okay, so now how can you get the address or how can you know the address of a variable? Okay, before going to read any value for a particular variable, you have to specify the address first. Before going to read any value for a particular variable, first you have to specify the address, right? How can you specify the address of a variable? That is, with the help of this ampersand symbol, you can specify the address of a variable, right? I want to read a value, okay, right? Int n. For this n, I want to read a value. So, with the help of scanf function, scanf %d scanf %d comma, I am reading an integer value. This %d specifies that yes, I am going to read an integer value. Into which location? Yes, that location we have to specify. So that location is nothing but n. If I just specify n, is it enough? If I just specify your name, if I want to send a letter to your address, to your home, if I just specify your name on the letter envelope, does it deliver? That postman will deliver that letter to your home? No, the postman cannot able to deliver that letter to your home if I just specify your name like n. What I have to do? I need to specify your door number, your street, your city name as well as your pin code. All these things nothing but an address. Group of all those things are nothing but an address. So whenever I specify an address on your envelope, then only a postman can able to deliver that letter to your home. Similarly, here also, if I want to read a value, an integer value into this n variable, what I have to do? I need to specify address of this n. So how can I get the address of n? With the help of ampersand symbol. With the help of ampersand symbol, I can get the address of a particular variable. Now, the value will be placed into this location. Now, the value what we are reading will be placed into the location n, right? So, it is also known as an address operator and it specifies before the variable name. It indicates the memory location of the variable. It indicates the memory location of the variable like int n equals to 10 ampersand n. This ampersand n gives the address of n. Okay, let us see with a simple example. Okay, so here I declared an integer variable and in this printf statement I am just printing the value of n. See here, value of n. So what will be the output? N equals to 10 will be displayed, right? And next I want to print the address of n. I want to print the address of n. So address, you can get the address with the help of %u format specifier. Okay, so now you can get the address of n. So is %u. %u means ampersand n. Ampersand n gives n or address of n? Address of n. Okay, so here address equals to some 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, whatever it may be. Okay, so from machine to machine the address of a particular variable will also change. Okay, it depends upon your machine. Okay, so here my output is value of n is 10 and address of or else value of ampersand n, or else address. Address of ampersand n is 678596. Okay. So in my machine the address of n is this one. In your machine the address may be different. Okay. So this is about address operator. And the next one is size of operator. So in our C programming we have declared so many identifiers with so many data types, right? Integer, character, float, short int, long int, okay, double, like we have so many data types are available. Okay. Now while programming, while I am doing my program, if I want to know a size of a particular variable, if I want to know the size of a particular variable, how can I know that? With the help of this size of operator, I can know the size of any identifier. I can know the size of any identifier. This operator returns the size of an identifier. This operator returns the size of an identifier. See a simple example. Int x. Okay. The value of x is percentage d. The value, not the value, size. Size of x is percentage d. So size of x. Size of x. Okay. So what is the output? The value of x is 4. The value of x is 4. Okay. So in our advanced machines, the size of an integer is 4. The size of a short is 2 bytes. Size of integer is 4 bytes. Okay. That is about size of operator. And few more operators we have. Okay. Asterisk. Okay. It is also called as an indirection operator. It is also called as an indirection operator. It is a unary operator. It is a unary operator. Why it is a unary operator? Because this asterisk is a symbol which is applied to only one operand. Okay. After applying this asterisk symbol or this indirection operator, we can get a pointer. Okay. So if you want to create any pointers, you have to use this asterisk operator. We have a lot of discussion about pointers in our next further sessions. Okay. Next, parenthesis. It is also called as a function call operator. Parenthesis is also called as a function call operator. This parenthesis is used to call a function or to group multiple expressions. If you have number of expressions in your instruction, if you want to group them, you can group with the help of parentheses. See an example like a plus b into c. Okay, if you have an expression like this, which expression you have to, which values you want to evaluate first? You want to evaluate a plus b or b into c? What you want to evaluate? So you can evaluate your expression with by grouping. You can evaluate your expression by grouping. Okay, so you can group your expression with the help of parentheses. A plus b into c. So first perform addition operation and then perform multiplication operation, right? And the last one is semicolon. The semicolon is used to terminate your C statement. The semicolon is used to terminate your C statement, right? So these are different examples or different operators we have available in C programming. Thank you. In the next session, we will discuss about expressions and precedence and associative rules of expressions. Thank you.